Welcome to First Down Sports. As always, I'm your host, Ray Dunn. Sitting with me at the end of the table is my brother, Chris.
How's it going, eh?
Also to my left is our producer, Andy Jardine.
Yo! That new intro was short-lived.
That was, as I got halfway through it, I went, whoa, boy. At the back of the room, you've got, on sound, my brother, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Yo.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, hey.
Okay, now hold on here. I got to do my new producer's thing. And this show is brought to you by Moose Light, Doyle's Corporate Image, and Done Right Sauce.
Look at that, just done. We didn't talk about kitchens being crappy. We didn't talk about Roberto Luongo.
Oh, my
We
God.
just
that's
got-
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's move on.
Well,
Yeah.
did you hear Nick had a flat tire today?
Heard
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, it's probably
Blew a
Luongo.
tire on the highway.
That's why you should always have
Luongo.
Done Tire.
Luongo
Our new
let the
sponsor?
air out because Nick won't let me talk about Luongo and promote the fact that he had something to do with promoting Done Right Sauce.
So he drove to New Brunswick, found you on the highway, let the
Segues
air.
right into our new sponsor, Done
I
Tire.
know, I know.
Done tire.
If
Yeah.
you get stuck on the highway, wasn't Done Tire's fault.
And then there's Ernie's camera too, right? That's which we're still trying to lock up a deal with.
All right, boys, this is our regular NFL show, and I'm going to be leaning huge on you guys this week because every time we get the NFL lineup of what we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
I always make sure I go to my DAZN and watch the quick game without the commercials, which is awesome. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome. I love
Yep.
doing that.
Yep.
So this week on Thursday we had the American Thanksgiving football.
Big
And
games. Big games.
How much of that football do you think we watched this year, Chris?
What's that?
How much of the football do you think I caught on Thursday?
You caught probably very little.
I caught zero.
Zero.
We had a huge interview here on Thursday night. We interviewed Scott O'Neill, head coach of
That's
the
right.
Tantramar Titans,
Nice.
which has blown up on YouTube and Podbean. We had some great statistics on that interview, and it's continuing to grow. Eh,
Yeah,
Andy?
it's been the video's doing extremely well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
thanks to
Good job,
Scott
fellas.
O'Neill and the town of Sackville for supporting what we're doing here at First Down Sports.
Right.
Now, Sunday, I didn't catch any games either. Now, I did catch, I was in Jack Astor's in Ottawa, right by the Red Black Stadium. And I looked up at the TV, and the Bills were beating Kansas City. I think it was 10-3. And I went, what?
Yeah.
The Bills are winning? And I got something funny to tell you guys here. So we just got done talking a whole bunch of CFL stuff on the Canadian show. While I was in Ottawa, you're not going to believe this. Not everybody is just a CFL fan. There are NFL fans there too. And when you looked at, remember when we were out, when I was in Winnipeg, I told you I saw a lot of Green Bay stuff and, in Ottawa, the number one NFL team being supported out there by our good friends in Ottawa is the Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
I
Right,
couldn't
Ottawa.
believe it. Everywhere I went, I saw Bills jackets, Bills hats. There was every place you went, there was a Bills logo. And I asked one of the guys, I finally had to pull a guy aside and I said, what is going on with all the Buffalo Bills stuff here in Ottawa? I had no idea. And he says, well, when you live in Ottawa and you want to follow a team that's close to you, you got two choices. You got New England or you got Buffalo. And nobody
Loves New
wants
England.
to vote for New England. So that's another reason why I love
Good
you,
job,
Ottawa.
boys.
I
Good
love you.
If you guys are listening in Ottawa, the Browns are only like 2 hours
No,
further.
no. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Isn't
Don't
that is
do
that
it.
not enticing?
And Nick, can
No?
you bring up the tape from last week? There was a soundbite by Andy. Can you bring that up? There's no way Buffalo can beat Kansas City.
I believe here.
They're gonna get creamed. Let the
I'll
soundbite
tell you
go.
what I
They're
said.
gonna get
Let it-
creamed.
This is not the soundbite though. This is you.
No,
you
that
should
was
look.
you.
You should look at. You should look at your
Rewind
face.
it again. Play it for
No, I was dead wrong, guys. I mean, I basically I expected them to get steamrolled. I thought your coach would really
McDermott.
would
We
really
destroyed the team.
would really struggle to get the team back on the right
I
track.
wrote a few things down. He destroyed the whole team.
I'm looking at the paper right now. There's nothing, absolutely
destroyed-
nothing
he's
written.
writing it
team.
down right now.
Your team is imploded. I've
So,
seen it a billion
anyways,
times.
I too noticed, Ray, that the Bills won, and it looked to me, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, even though you didn't watch the game. I'm sure you did some reading, but it looked to me like the Bills won the way the Bills won. And it looked like a good example to me of why maybe they shouldn't have went away from Tyrod Taylor in the first place. They did. They're back to it, but this is the way they're going to win.
Do you mind if I feel that one?
Chris,
first?
I just want to say, you're onto something. Something was wrong with Andy last week because he said a lot of hurtful things.
He did.
He made a comment to me
Angry
that
Andy.
he's tired of hearing me talk on the podcast last week.
About himself.
Angry Andy.
And his mom was all concerned that we weren't going to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
So
She thought I might have burned some bridges.
yeah, so Andy was in a bad mood last week. It was bad mood
Angry
Andy.
All right. So
No.
talk about the game.
No, you know what? A typical Bills fan would be like, "See how we dominated," And I scoured some of the websites, and do you see what we did? Oh, this was great, amazing. Let me give my version on it. The offense was pure garbage again. It was pure garbage. We couldn't put away a team again. I think the total yards in the second half was around 62 yards. We won again by the defense.
Yeah.
And this, for me, it just shows again that McDermott was not in left field. You see Smith being replaced by Mahomes, and it's not like they're still in playoff contention.
Yeah, that's
They're not-
surprising,
they're-
that one, yeah.
But they're not getting hung out like how Buffalo did them. How McDermott, how ridiculous. Look at I give him praise that he sees exactly what we have. We have a problem, Buffalo.
Oh, sorry. I heard a comment. I heard a comment that the Buffalo's defense is night and day without EJ Gaines playing.
He's awesome.
And in this game, EJ Gaines started, and he had 7 tackles and 1 assist and led the defense in tackles.
But no, that's it. But White was the mainstay in this game.
Yeah.
If you look at Gaines did shut down his side.
Yeah.
But White was a guy that's a pure playmaker. Like, we struck gold with that guy.
Who did they cover Tyreek Hill with? Who were they?
A lot of the guys was White, but they switched over. Gaines was doing a little bit here and there, but
Yeah.
like on big plays that you saw White transition over to Hill. But Kelsey, like for Kelsey to be shut down, like that tight end goes off every week, and that tight end was completely shut down. Good props to our linebackers.
Did they have Poyer down low helping out with the?
Well, they had him in a lot of different plays, but you know what? Poyer wasn't one of the big highlight. He was a big part of the D, but I give more praise that we finally had pass rush.
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
they got in there. They did a great job. We schemed well, but the offense again couldn't put it away. One highlight of it, I won't pick on it too much, but there was one play where we could have put the game away. A good chance. We could have took a lot of time off. You saw O'Doyle go across. O'Doyle, the tight end, he came across. There was no one behind him. When the commentators, they looked at it and they highlighted it. All the backfield was like 15 yards away from the kid. All Tyrod had to do was loft it over the defensive line. The kid would have caught it, easily taken it for about 10, 15, 20 yards. Like no one would have even seen him.
Yeah.
He threw it right to his shoelaces. He fell down, couldn't get the first down. Offense out again. Defense, you got to win the game again.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Nobody around him.
That's
Well,
fair.
pathetic.
Eddie, listening to Sal Capaccio, that's where I got the EJ Gaines thing. But you talked about defensive pressure. He really talked about Eddie Yarborough and
Huge.
Milano. He was only in for 13 plays, but every time he was on the field, he was making an impact in the game. So good for the Bills.
Yep.
I can't
Yep.
wait to watch it. I will watch it this week.
Yeah.
I was excited to see the score. But I didn't get to see any of the game.
Well, in defense of Tyrod Taylor, I'll just put it this way. I mean, he showed you guys over the last 2 years that from time to time he can have a really good game.
Yeah.
You're not expecting him to, but you at least know he has that in him. And he gives the defense a chance to win the game for you, right? He
Fair.
doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I think that's all you can hope for this year, guys. And I mean, the playoffs are there. Why not make them? I mean, you have the longest drought in the league. Why not make them? And if this type of play can get you there, wins are fun.
Well, they're home against New England this weekend.
This is the last comment with
not start
Tyrod.
here, but yeah.
He had one really good touchdown pass, and at least he started throwing downfield.
Okay.
He didn't have any success throwing downfield. Not much. The touchdown pass was good. He held it a little longer than I was comfortable with, but he hit him.
Yeah.
Good pass. But other than that, he threw it downfield, and at least they had to think about it. And I think that helped the offense in the beginning.
He ran
that
more,
second
too.
half. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. Well, I guess tradition is we usually do the Browns game. The Browns fell to 30-16 to the Bengals. It's just the young team beating itself again. The Deshaun Kaiser probably had his best game as a pro. By a long shot, and everybody around him let him down. He made a few wonky decisions, but didn't turn the ball over, made the big league throws that you see. There were some wide open drops, especially one right in the end zone by Corey Coleman, our first round wide receiver from a year ago. So this team just isn't ready to win. Everything has to go absolutely perfect for them, and they just gave another one away.
I make fun of you every week in our fantasy league where you start both the Cleveland backs.
Yeah.
But, God love you. You still get some good results from them.
I get about 20 points between the two of them every week, and I have to start them, and I hate it. Trust me, I'm like, I have too many Browns.
It looks so ugly when
it does. Yeah.
when you match up.
You can actually smell my team. Like when you look at it, you're like, ugh, what's going on? And then there's more Browns on the bench too. You're like, oh gosh, what's going on? Yeah. Anyway, I play Ray this week, and I hear he's not very competitive these days.
That's
So
like me in fantasy, though. I always have Bills players.
But Ray,
this is the first year. This is the first year in fantasy that both my teams absolutely suck, and it makes me even say I don't even know if I want to do it next year.
But you know what? The only knock on you, your team did not suck. You had one of the best teams, and then you take.
You
her.
just had to
What would be
trade.
a great
You
idea?
just had to trade.
Let's trade away Brady and Cooks.
Oh, hold on. That wasn't just an epiphany he had one week. He was talking about it seconds after the pick.
Yeah, I was.
He walked up to the board. Tom Brady, Cooks. Can't wait to take one of you guys to the cleaners.
He's purely dominating. And he says, let's get rid of this guy.
I may have a shitty fantasy football team, but there's no way I was cheering for Brady. No way. I'd rather be a loser, and by God, I'm a loser. All
right,
move on.
All right, let's run through. I didn't really set aside any particular games, so let's just run through the whole week really quickly. So we talked Thanksgiving. The Vikings beat the Lions 30-23.
Big game. That was fun.
Case Keenum played amazing. The guy, I still don't think he's the type of quarterback that's going to get you too far into the playoffs, but he's making himself some money because if they don't stick with him next year, he's going to go out there and get a chance to start for a team, I think. You guys have any thoughts on that one?
Well, I keep thinking the same thing, but I think he's won me over. He's won me over. He's won the big games. Okay. The Rams game was a big one. Yeah. This one was a good game too. There was a lot of back and forth. I'm leaning towards him. I think he can. He's not gonna.
I just don't see him getting once he gets if he gets past the first round of the playoffs, I'll be a believer too, and that's all I mean. I'm not saying this guy's not even an NFL starter by any stretch. I just think once he gets into the playoffs, he's still got to prove a bit to me. But
yeah,
you have any thoughts on that game? You didn't get a chance to see it, eh?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Chargers absolutely annihilate the Cowboys.
Oh.
It wasn't just one of the worst games we've seen the Cowboys play, but it was I think Phillip Rivers' best game of the year too.
I did see the highlights. I did see the highlights on this, and I'll tell you. The best thing that ever happened to the Chargers is the Buffalo Bills, because now they're on a mission, and Rivers looks like he's on a mission. That defense is amazing. That pass rush is amazing. Dak Prescott looks like the Bills rookie from the week before, Peterman.
Yeah.
I mean, Prescott without Elliott there, he looks like a true rookie.
Well, the only
he's horrendous.
Their offensive line, the left tackle going out, that's never going to help a young rookie.
Yeah, but all they talked about with Prescott is how much poise he has. He's got tons of poise.
That's true.
And this
Basically
guy
a vet now, right?
Yeah, like they talk about him like he's 10 times better than Tony Romo.
I'm still like if Tony.
These guys are in big trouble. These guys are in big trouble.
The problem with that is if Tony Romo was there and took one of the hits because of the offensive line support, Romo would be gone after 2 hits.
Yeah,
he's fragile.
Maybe.
Romo was tough too, though. He got up and took.
Ray, he was not.
When he got hurt though, like they were bad.
Yeah, they were bad hits. Yeah.
Anyway, the Cowboys fall to 5-6, and they're 2-4 at home.
They're done.
And I doubt those Cowboy fans are too excited.
They're done.
One thing though, you see Rivers. I mean, is on another level right now.
Oh yeah.
If I'm any team right now, stay away from the Chargers. Like, what a turnaround. Like, they had a tough schedule in the beginning. One of the guys they play hockey with, Stephen O'Bliens, he says that, don't count him out. Yeah, don't count him out. And I give a lot of credit to Anthony Lynn, head coach. I didn't realize how successful that guy was as a running backs coach first. Everywhere he went, like he has tremendous success at being like coaching. Now he wasn't a head coach; it was his first time. But I give him lots of credit. It took time to implement his plan, but once that plan was implemented, this team is on another level.
Yeah,
like there's not like somebody returning from an injury or something. No. It's just the defense is now. The defense looks really scary. The offense doesn't go 3-0 like it did a lot in the beginning.
Yep.
Watch out to the Chargers.
Yeah, watch out for them for sure if they can keep this going.
Wasn't
They're
your
5-6 now.
Your bold prediction was that they would win.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to gel much earlier, and I did see the hard schedule, but I thought finally Rivers has someone to throw to.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
Yep.
Right?
All right, so still in the NFC East, we got the Giants falling to the Redskins 20-10. It wasn't the most exciting game to watch.
No.
The Redskins did just enough to win, and we just got breaking news that the Giants are making a play for the future. It sounds like Eli was involved in the conversation because they actually offered to allow him to continue to start the games to keep his consecutive game start streak
210 games
alive, though he wouldn't finish the games. You can start them, but we got to see Geno Smith now. Who knows why? And we also eventually, so they're actually saying that we're going to hand the reins to Geno Smith, but we'll also see the rookie. So Geno's like, oh yeah, I got this locked up.
But we know why.
Yeah,
this is all purely draft implications.
Yeah. Well, it is, but I think this is turning the page. Like, you're doing this to Eli right now. Is he coming back?
No, he's not. He's not coming back. He is done.
Not now.
He's done with the New York Giants.
Now he's done with the Giants. Who picks him up? Is it worthwhile to pick that guy up?
We've talked about this a couple times.
I like it.
We've talked about it a couple times. I think that if you have at least one dynamic wide receiver with a solid offensive line and give Eli some running. When's the last time Eli Manning had a solid running game?
That's right.
Tiki Barber,
yeah.
Right? I mean, we know Eli can win the big games. Yeah. All you have to do is ask any New England fan.
So no, I'm not trying to start an argument with you, Ray. But when you say that, a dominant wide receiver, a good offensive line, and a decent running game, can you think of a team that has that recipe that needs a quarterback?
The Buffalo Bills,
right there.
We don't have an offensive line though.
The offensive line is done pretty good.
But after the draft, we could have a lot of those poles plugged in.
Yeah.
That's 2 1s, 2s, and 3s.
That's interesting. I don't think I can think of another team. Maybe the Bengals decide to move on from Andy Dalton and bring in Eli. There's not really a hit. Like, Eli doesn't really have a history with many coaches, right? Because he had the same. Anyway,
take it easy on the Red Rocket, though.
Miami?
The Red Rocket. It's still there.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
I would take the Red Rocket over what we got in Buffalo.
I would. Yeah, I wish he was playing for Hugh Jackson right now. Trust me. It's funny. Just one more thing on the Browns game. Oh my gosh, it was pathetic. So you know how we failed to trade for AJ McCarron because either they screwed it up on purpose or they didn't. The cameras catch Hugh Jackson like in the world's longest hug with AJ McCarron, and I'm like, oh well, that's kind of bad enough. And then in creeps our owner, and they also hug. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, okay, you're going to be our quarterback next year, son. Oh, can't wait. He's a restricted free agent too, so it's going to cost draft picks. Anyway, next game that just makes me snore looking at it. Titans beat the Colts 20-16. Jacoby Brissett did not have a wonderful.
This would be a good one.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett didn't have a wonderful game, even though he kind of. I think he's earning himself a chance to start for a team next year too. Do you guys have anything you want to say about this game?
You know what?
No is an
Other
okay
than
answer.
I started in one of my leagues, Brissett, and I thought Brissett was going to do a lot better
Yeah.
than what he did. Like, if you look at his pattern for the last few games, he's done well. He got totally shut out.
Yeah. Ray, nothing?
I got nothing.
All right.
But you know what? It is expected because Tennessee is right
Good.
there in the playoff mix.
Yep.
So if they're gonna shine, this is the time that's gonna do it.
And
Delaney
I believe-
Walker looked awesome.
And they're one of the one of the worst pass rush teams in the league, but have a decent secondary
That's right.
to cover up for it.
I'm just seeing Chris was FaceTiming live during our Canadian show.
Oh, sorry guys. Did I break code again?
Oh boy! All right. Patriots beat the Dolphins 35-17 to go to 9-2. Do we have any surprises here?
Whoop-de-doo-dah.
Anything to talk about?
And this one, the Patriots one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Patriots one. You know, the only thing I saw that was worthwhile mentioning is Tom Brady fumbled it, and it was the best.
Was
play.
it?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Mike Fauchier was messaging me. He went to the game, and he's like sending me things. Oh, another touchdown! And as soon as that happened, I must have sent it like 6 or 7 times. What happened to the fumble? No comment.
Let's get a copy of that video. I want that up on First Down Sports. Nick, that's up to you.
All right, we'll find it.
The only major thing that I say out of this game that I think's important to review is, you know, we talk about some quarterbacks taking a hit, and Brady's taking big hits.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit of.
The avocado ice cream is just keeping him in shape.
I don't know what he has, but he's taking hits that I've not seen some quarterbacks take. So I give him hats off. That cripes, you know,
Yeah.
good show for getting up, but
Yeah.
he can't be lasting much longer.
Well, I mean, like we've been saying this for years and years. So until I see him not get back up, you know,
What a competitor!
it's annoying, but it is what it is.
I'm hoping the Bills.
Tiger.
I'm hoping the Bills defense
Yeah.
takes him out this week.
So Josh McCown has himself a day, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they hung in there, but they just lost to the Panthers, 35-27.
Great game though.
That takes Panthers to 8-3, so they're like, especially with how things are. I mean, they're going to playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one guy, if you don't already have him, obviously you probably do, is that Anderson for the Jets.
Yeah.
You know, he snuck. I don't know how. Like the Panthers are a good D, and he snuck behind there, and I think he had like a 53-yard bomb catch.
Yeah.
That dude is. This Anderson's a real deal.
And the Jets at 4-7. Am I officially right on my bold prediction of the Jets not picking in the top 2 because they won too many
you're right.
games?
You're right.
Like, I think it's official
right.
now, right? There's no way that 4
It's
wins,
official.
you're going to be picking 2.
Right now, you're going to have San Fran, the Giants, or Cleveland. They're going to be the first 3 picks of your draft right there.
They finally said
And the
McCown-
Bears are there
On the
too.
Bears, too.
And they finally said McCown is firmly the starting quarterback now for the Jets. I think for ongoing.
Yeah, until he has to retire. Like,
it.
I mean, and he's up there with Brady,
Yeah.
in age almost, and he's a lot more injury prone, but he eats the avocado ice cream too. I think so. All right, the
ice cream.
Eagles just rolled to 10-1.
rolled. This
They
is disgusting.
destroy the Bears
God.
31-3. Wentz is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen, and it makes me sick.
This
just
team
at
is
this point.
unbeatable. Is there any team that can beat this team?
They don't
unbeatable.
They don't have a weakness, eh?
No, their defense is so fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And who's the head coach or who's the defensive coordinator for the defense?
Schwartzy?
Jim Schwartz. I love this guy as a
yeah.
defensive coordinator. Man, he was so good in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He's doing the exact same thing in Philadelphia.
Nigel Bradham, he brought him back
Oh,
over to
my
him, and Nigel's like a beast.
He's so fast,
Oh yeah.
Bradham. But
Darby.
I'll tell you right now, the best thing about the Philadelphia Eagles is the fact that the best quarterback in the league is now in the NFC.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Cheap shot.
Speaking of NFC, big matchup traditionally, but not so much these days. But the Seahawks beat the 49ers 24-13. The Seahawks are 7-4, even though every member of their defense is injured, it seems.
Yeah.
The 49ers played like crap, though Kyle Shanahan said it wasn't the quarterback's fault. That's why they never made a change until the very end, where he got hit hard and had to come out of the game. Garoppolo played 3 plays and produced a touchdown, and we just heard that they're going to hand the reins over to him.
That's
which
it.
they have to. Like, here's the thing with Jimmy, guys. Like, I can guarantee you right now, so you guys can, I owe you each a 6-pack of beer if I'm wrong about this. I doubt you'll
I'm
argue
writing
with
this
me,
down.
but I guarantee you that the Niners use the franchise tag on Jimmy Garoppolo. He's forcing. They're not going to see enough of him. They're not going to work out a long-term deal. He'd be crazy to even do it right now. They're going to franchise tag. They're going to have to.
Well,
they're-
yeah, if he's not going to sign, like, why wouldn't you?
Well, but why would? And what I'm saying is, why would he sign? What would be the point?
Do you know what I do love about this 49ers? They have this little receiver, and I loved this guy. When I went to the
Goodwin.
Bills training camp a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
Goodwin, he had 4 receptions, 78 yards. He's finally getting the ball downfield, and this kid could have been fantastic in Buffalo if anybody would have ever thrown the ball downfield to him. He's so fast.
Yeah.
Good for him. I think it'll be great that I think it's great that Garoppolo is now getting the ball. I didn't understand why he didn't get it sooner, but now
Halifax Sooners?
now we'll get to see what he can do in the last 5 weeks of the year, and maybe he does get a long-term deal based on how he plays. Andy,
Who, Garoppolo, you
yeah,
think?
Garoppolo, yeah.
I think that the 49ers would be crazy not to try to sign him to a long-term deal, but I don't think there's any incentive for him to do it right now, because I don't think they could. I don't think either side know what he's worth, and I don't think they're giving it a chance for giving it a chance to play out properly. They have the franchise tag there available to them. Garoppolo has all the leverage. He know, like, his team, and his agent is also Tom Brady's agent.
Yeah.
They're smart. They know this team just gave up a 2nd-round pick. They suck so bad it's almost a 1st-round pick. It'll be like 34. They would be throwing that away if they didn't franchise him.
Of course.
They know it's going to happen. And before we move on from that game, like, how about Jimmy Graham now being back to a touchdown machine?
Yeah.
Like, he's actually, if you have him in fantasy, it's hard to, you're scared to say I believe in him again, but he's a machine again.
But it took time for Seattle to change its identity,
Yeah.
to go from a running team to now more of a passing team.
They were almost forced to.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
so-
Give it to one of the 3 dead backs back there, Lacey,
The dead backs. All right,
Brasse,
yeah.
what's the and
Lacey Rawls.
And Rawls,
Your
yeah.
guy Rawls, yeah.
Rawls.
Rawls, yeah.
I have to say, we haven't talked. The most exciting game of the week, though, was the Rams and the Saints.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, that's
I think it showed some actually. You know what? The Rams lost a big one the week before. They coming across. The Saints have been on a roll.
Yeah.
And they showed, you know what, that was good character, and I think that just gets them set up for ready for the playoffs coming up.
Yeah,
because I think the Rams are the real deal too.
Yeah, they're showing that they still have a bit of growing to do when they lost a couple games, but then when they come out and knock off the hottest team in the league, that
Yeah.
was just on 8-game winning streak. That says a lot for a team.
Yeah,
Do you have any more on this one, or
Goff looks great. I mean, he is such a solid quarterback. Sammy Watkins is starting to produce for him now.
Yeah.
Except for Sammy made a stupid mistake in this game. The ball was thrown behind him, and Sammy tried to put one hand out behind him,
just
almost
tipped
like
it
he
up.
was
Yeah, yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
And he ended up tipping it up, and the cornerback picked it up for interception.
He had a lot of confidence in himself.
every
Just
time.
stupid,
But you know-
Sammy.
you know the
Cooper
impre-
Kupp at 116 yards?
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was going. Like Woods went out, and they have the personnel that even if Woods is gone, I think he's only gone for one more game. Then
Yeah, I
he'll
don't
be
think he's
back.
hurt too bad. Yeah.
But he's the main receiver, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
nice to see that they have the personnel because it's all about backups.
Yeah,
Around
the
this
depth,
time
they
of the
have
year,
the depth to
Double
handle
depth.
this. Yeah.
That's it.
Depth.
So good on them.
Next game up, I think, is the one you're the most excited about to talk about, Chris. Raiders Broncos.
Raiders Broncos was a fun game.
Well, there was the two guys got suspended. Eh?
Yeah, it was,
Tell me
Yeah,
what.
I want to hear about this. So I heard about this a lot.
Yeah, Crabtree, and I don't recall the
and Talib.
Talib, yeah.
Aqib Talib, yeah. So tell me what happened.
Yeah, so one was blocking and kept blocking him outside of He kept, he's finishing his block, but overly finishing his block.
Way too much, yeah.
Got pissed off. They started grabbing each other's face masks. It was quite a sight. But the biggest point I feel out of this is like the implications of, when teams are playing against the Broncos, it's a strong D to play against because you got that one shutdown corner on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see the floodgates open up on any team playing against the Broncos from here on in because they don't have that shutdown corner for 2 games.
Right.
And that could be playoff implications for some of the teams that are playing them.
And I don't think that, who are they going back to quarterback? Because I hear Paxton Lynch is out for at least 2 weeks. They brought him in
It's a
finally.
revolving door.
Yeah, they brought him in finally to
Johnny
start.
Manziel.
And I'm just looking because I didn't pay close attention to this game, but it looks like they scored all 14 points in the fourth quarter, and I'm gonna guess that wasn't even Paxton Lynch who produced those. It was Trevor Simeon came. Oh, clearly they're going back to Simeon because he came in and threw 2 touchdowns in garbage time. Derek Carr played okay. Would you say though that, looking back now and how we were talking about the team in the beginning of the season, that the Raiders are one of the more disappointing? Both these teams
Big
are
time.
super disappointing.
It's a debacle.
The Broncos are a total debacle. It's beyond disappointment. It's their quarterback. There's injuries and then their quarterback situation. But the Raiders are just really
The whole AFC West is a disappointment, except for the Chargers.
Yeah.
and only recently they've started. They're only 5-6.
At the beginning of the year, other than Chris, who would have picked the Chargers to win the AFC East?
This guy.
Right. I think I was with Chris in terms of the Chargers having an explosive offense and having a good season, but you're right. I didn't pick
I didn't pick
to
them.
win
No,
I didn't pick them to win the division.
I was on Chris's island over here.
everybody was Oakland.
Chris's island.
Chris's island.
I had the Kansas City
You have to
Chiefs.
swim to it.
I had the Kansas City Chiefs at 2-14, and I'm not that far off. But
Hey,
go
that
ahead.
prediction's starting to look a little bit better. I mean, you know how we're starting to say I'm kind of officially right about the Jets thing. I think you've been officially wrong about that one for a long time, but it's starting to look better. So
It started-
I think you would agree. The only other one worth mentioning in these games is
Jags,
the
Cardinals?
Jags. Yeah, the Jags and Cards.
Yeah.
Like the Jags being beat by the Cards. And I love the write-up that Marone totally took it on himself, and he said, I blew this game. He got greedy.
Bad clock management.
At the very end, he said, I should have ran out the clock. But instead, he let Bortles try to, if we score on this one, we win the game.
Went for
They left too much clock on the game clock. They were able to come back. Arizona came back, field goal, win the game.
So they went for the score. They didn't get it. And it was an incomplete pass, so the clock stopped, and they had to take the field goal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
And he should have
it let too much time on the clock.
left too much on the clock for them.
Arizona came back, was able
Kick
to
the
finish
field
it
goal
off.
to win it. Yeah,
Done.
Yeah, okay. Looks like Adrian Peterson had a lot of carries. Almost 80
Yeah.
yards. Gabbert
Strong
played
game.
okay.
It's impressive how close it was.
Yeah, and the Jags at 7-4 are looking very legit too.
Now they're on the bubble now too
Yeah, they're
because of that.
Well, 7-4. That's they're floating on top of the bubble. They're pretty much they're in there right now. It'd be very likely.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Steelers beat the Packers 31-28. So the Packers scored a bunch of points. I didn't pay much attention to this one at all. Big Ben had a monster day.
Oh, it was crazy.
33 for 45, 351 yards, 4 touchdowns. So Ben
2
played
interceptions,
okay.
too.
Oh, I know how Chris Burke thinks. I was telling you guys earlier, Chris Burke sent me that trade, and he's trying to get me to go swap Gordon for Martavis Bryant with those 2 running backs. Bet you Martavis Bryant had a touchdown.
Oh, I bet he did.
He did.
Because he
He
thinks...
did. He actually, I know he did.
He did. He had 4 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown.
There you
That's
go.
right.
And he thinks I'll overreact to that. Now let's see.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. Now,
Sorry,
That
Chris.
trade is
now let's
legal.
check here, Chris
Sorry,
Burke, and
Chris.
see when's. Yeah. So that was the first touchdown he scored in how long?
Chris is still crying over the fact that I said the best quarterback in the league
Yeah.
plays in the NFC.
Hey, Chris, look. First touchdown he scored in 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Sounds like a
Nice.
fair trade. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Fair trade.
Let's do it.
I was the idiot that drafted Brian both my leagues this year. What a bum.
Yeah, he was a moron.
He's a bum.
Thought he was worth more than he was. Anyways, That's the week in NFL. We'll do our best to. Oh, the Monday Nighter. What was the Monday Nighter? Oh, yeah.
Ravens and Texans.
Ravens beat the Texans. The Ravens are back to being sort of okay, and the Texans losing this just makes the Browns pick that they're going to burn even better.
Does anyone else notice this? I was sitting on. I've watched the last few times when the Texans have been playing, and I've only watched it on a smaller TV. This one I happen to sit down on my big screen, my projection TV, and then I see how big Clowney is.
Oh, he's massive.
This guy is enormous.
Yeah, he's big.
And then they keep saying, the commentators, and they nailed it every time. Every time they put him in as a linebacker, the guy's coming in. He's not playing coverage.
Yeah.
He's coming in, and he gets in every time.
And crazy thing enough is he's fast enough that if he is back there at linebacker and there's like outside runs or something, he's getting there.
And you know what I like is that even though that team is out, that guy is putting 110%. I think he's got that big chip on his shoulders, thinking that, they talked about possible bust. After the 2 years, he had a few injuries, problems.
Yep.
Then he comes back and he's just blowing up the league. You watch how much money this guy is going to be offered. This guy is going to be making insane money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right,
Dominant.
two pieces of news that we didn't get to yet. Josh Gordon is officially going to be reinstated to play against the Chargers this weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully he does something.
Go, bro.
All the receivers on the Browns are just letting the rookie down. So if this guy can, and this guy 3 times in his career has started playing after not playing football for a whole year and is instantly the best guy in the field. So good luck, Josh Gordon. I hope you actually make it to the game. There's plenty of times to screw that up. It's very disrespectful what's going on with it.
I hope
Hopefully he
throw
doesn't.
the ball.
Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't have a great game and go out and celebrate afterwards.
I couldn't agree more. And finally, Chris, I think, was having a conversation with Ray about a fantasy trade or something. We thought he was a lunatic, saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to be back this year."
Yeah.
He might have been onto something, Ray.
Yeah.
Told ya.
Aaron Rodgers, during game warm-ups this week, was spotted throwing the ball, carrying about 50 yards in the air.
Wow.
And Mike McCarthy said he's not quite sure when Aaron's going to be back practicing, so I doubt it's very unlikely this week. But we might see Aaron Rodgers play again. I mean, the Packers are out of it. Doesn't really matter. But if he wants to play and he gets back to 100% healthy, which is kind of looking...
He loves the game. If he comes back, he'll be back.
It's looking potentially likely, then at least, they can give Green Bay, the only publicly owned team in the entire league,
There you go.
give those owners something to watch. So
Awesome.
that's all I got.
All right. Well, let's wrap her up. Chris, do you have any final comments before we get out?
Well, I can't wait to see Geno Smith start this week.
Oh, gosh.
I can't wait to see this.
It's going to be amazing.
Like, you know what? The great thing is teams just think, I think they think about how can we help out the Bills. So after our Peterman debacle, they said, you know what? We got to start Smith just to help this kid out. So thank you for starting Geno Smith. This will be quite a debacle coming up. So thanks for that.
Awesome.
Andy, anything?
Yeah, in our pick'em pool, a lot of people had big weeks, including me. But Mike Hallahan won the week with 24 points.
Wow. Hallahan.
That's one of the biggest.
Welcome
that's
to Hallahan.
one of the biggest totals that we've seen all year. Just to report a few other gems. Chris Dunn, of course, forgot to put his picks in again.
I didn't hit the save button. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I did too, I think.
Nick Dunn also for the second week in a row forgot to put his picks in.
Just
I'm doing
curious.
it right now.
Did Hallahan really win the game on game 8 of the week?
I think he actually. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Adam Myler and Ray Dunn both also had 24 points.
Wow.
Along with Mike Hallahan, and Mike Hallahan won the tiebreaker, so he won it on the Monday Night Football score.
Whoa!
Game8.com. Game8.com.
Yeah. So anyway, good job, Mike. I'll be seeing Mike Sunday. I'll be watching football with him at his house in Acton, Ontario this Sunday.
How about I send you up a large Moosehead golf shirt for him?
Perfect. Let's
All right,
do that.
Let's do that. All right,
Yep.
you got a new golf shirt coming to you,
Golf
Mikey.
shirt coming your way, Mike.
Nice.
All right, Nick, anything yet? Sabres are playing tonight. What,
are.
Sabres any chance of winning tonight, Nick? What's going on?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
But my final thought, Tiger Woods is back on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You
Love
just
it.
stole my thunder. You just stole my thunder.
Good.
Somebody was showing
take that away.
there was a video on Facebook today showing like his swing every single year since he was on the tour or whatever, and how it's like hauntingly the same the entire time, including now.
It's no wonder he has back problems the way he swung back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. He put everything in.
I mean, everything was
Oh,
120%.
man. Crazy.
Bringing up golf, I just want to let you guys know, as we're recording right now, I just got a message from one of our good podcast listeners and the father of one of our sponsors, Alan Doyle,
Okay.
who is a member out at Mountain Woods Golf Course. They have a big golf pool every year, and this year they changed the format up a little bit. It's $50 to get into this golf pool, and you pick so many players from each division. You get 4 transactions throughout the year, and it goes based on money earned throughout the year. And it's a new format that they've got going this year. It's better than the formats they've used in the past. I think if you like the PGA and you like watching golf every week, it's $50. Get into this pool. Give me a shout on Facebook or reach out to Alan Doyle. He's running this pool. I can send you the details.
Doyle, even Alan Doyle rules, right?
Even Alan Doyle, he rules.
Are we going to say thanks to our new sponsor, Hallahan Auto?
Hallahan Auto.
Hallahan.
All our new
Hallahan.
sponsors. Ernie's camera.
want
Thanks
Chris
again
Farley to
for
come
your
out?
support, guys.
All right, guys, let me thank our sponsors, Moose Light, Doyle's Corporate Image, Done Right Sauce at the back. Make sure you get out and support these sponsors, all right? They're paying our bills. I might not have lights on in the studio next
on,
week
guys.
if you don't get yourself some Moose Light. The stuff's scary good. All right, so you guys enjoy the games this week. I will make up for last week and make sure I watch all the games so that next week I can break them down. My final thought is thanks again to Ottawa. And if you haven't checked out my Facebook page, I got to take a picture with probably the most loved player in the CFL and NFL of all time, the one and
Ronnie
only
Ronnie La.
Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie, it was amazing.
And Dominican Sue.
And I'll tell you right now, Flutie has never taken a hit in his career like Jeannie hit him when we walked by him. So,
All right.
enjoy the week, guys. Have a great week.
I got it. Ah, yeah.
Next on CBS.
Bill Castano.
She's all lit up, hair and makeup. She's out every night. She's drinking pesticide. She's up and gone again. It's not a boyfriend. They're not the kissing kind. They're just